Welcome to R.A. Faganell Hall in Elmhurst, Illinois, where this afternoon we have a Blue Jays basketball doubleheader. It will start with the women's game as they host the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Matt Friedman, and right now they're introducing the starting lineups. The Blue Jays coming into this contest with a record of 9-9. They are 3-4 in CCIW play, tied for fourth. They take on an Illinois Wesleyan team that comes in at 12-6. They are 5-2 in conference, tied for second in the conference so far, and Illinois Wesleyan coming in on a 3-game win streak into this contest. Illinois Wesleyan has beaten Elmhurst 15 straight times in the series. They beat Elmhurst 75-51 in Bloomington 3 weeks ago, and that was on January 5th. Elmhurst turned the ball over 32 times, as right now they are getting set to introduce the Blue Jays, and we will tell you about the starting lineups. Starting with the Titans, Melissa Gardner at guard, a senior, 5'6", averaging 14 points per game to lead the team. Junior guard, Lexi Baltus, averaging 7 points, 5 boards per contest. Colleen McMahon, a junior guard. McMahon averaging 12.5 points per contest. Michelle Wheelan, senior guard, 5'9", out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, averaging 8 points a game. Katie Sebring, the junior guard, out of Towanda, Illinois, averaging 13 points per game for Illinois Wesleyan. The Titans coached by Maya Smith in her 15th year. And for the Blue Jays, at guard, Devin Vaughn, a 5'9" junior out of North Aurora, Illinois. Vaughn averaging 6.4 points per game. At guard forward, 5'10" sophomore out of Hinckley, Illinois, Tess Godhart, 11.6 points per contest. Kieran Sinnett at guard, a 5'6" junior out of Anchorage, Alaska, averages 8 points a game and a team high 3.8 assists. At guard for Elmhurst, a 5'6" freshman out of Rolling Prairie, Indiana, Courtney Spencer, averages just under 3 points a game. And forward, 6'1" sophomore Fiona McMahon out of St. Charles, Illinois. She averages 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game, leading the team in all of those categories.
Recognize the outstanding performance of opponents.
Elmhurst is coached by Tiffany Carrillo in her 6th year, a 79-67 record. The Blue Jays lost in their last game, 67-52 to Wheaton College on Wednesday night. Elmhurst only was down 6 at half, but lost by 9 in the second half of action, and the tap is won by the Titans, and quickly running to the basket, McMahon missed that scoop shot out of bounds, and the Blue Jays will have their first possession. Devin Vaughn looking to impound, full court pressure in the backcourt by the Titans. Spencer has it on the near side, she gets trapped. Sinnett still in the backcourt for the Blue Jays, to Godhart, back to Kieran Sinnett, and Sinnett will break the press, bring it into the front court. Right wing, Devin Vaughn, long skip feed to Spencer, open on the left wing. Now it's Vaughn up top. Vaughn right of the lane, lob pass inside. Nice catch by McMahon, but she couldn't finish the shot on the doorstep. Still loose on the deck and picked up by the Titans. Here comes Colleen McMahon. McMahon has it left wing for the Titans. They come in on a 3-game win streak. Dribble handoff to Gardner, Melissa Gardner. Now flips it to Katie Sebring. Sebring has 74 points in the last 3 games for the Titans. Now she tries that 3, it's too strong. Nice rebound by Tess Godhart. Here come the Blue Jays. This is Courtney Spencer, now to Devin Vaughn on the right wing. Just a minute into the ball game, no score. Left wing, it's Sinnett. Sinnett, skip feed out to Spencer, fires, and that one's off the front rim. Rebound is picked off by Baltus. Here come the Titans. Still no score, a minute 15 into the game. Driving inside, McMahon from the left block, missed that banker, and a nice look underneath. It's going to be laid in by Bielik. That was actually Katie Sebring who finished for Illinois Wesleyan, and the Titans have a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jays. Full court pressure again off the made basket. Vaughn tried to feign contact along the near sideline, but no foul is called. It goes back to the Titans. The Titans were the 2002 Division III national champions. Their first title in women's basketball. And Maya Smith, in her 15th year, is a 4-time conference coach of the year. There's an offensive foul drawn by Vaughn. Baltus whistled for the foul. First foul of the contest. Blue Jays will inbound. Light pressure in the backcourt. The Titans have won 5 straight conference titles. They come into action today at 5-2 in CCIW play. Tied for second. The conference is led by Carthage, who has already beaten the Titans this year. And Carthage, a perfect 7-0 in conference play. That 15-footer on the baseline, no good from Godhart. On the rebound, a loose ball foul is called on the Blue Jays. Just over 2 minutes into it, the Titans lead the Blue Jays 2-0.
Foul charge.
There you see of that replay on Devin Vaughn climbing up the back. Pull-up jumper from McMahon, and that one falls in. Titans leading the Blue Jays 4-0, 17:35 remaining first half of action. Sinet in the backcourt, trying to clear out some space. You might be able to see along the far sideline the coaches wearing the sneakers to support Coaches versus Cancer this weekend all across college basketball, even in high school basketball you're seeing it. Maya Smith, the head coach, is adorned in pink this afternoon. Has a pink top on with pink tennis shoes. Blue Jays looking to inbound. Tess Godhart with it on the right wing. Godhart now to Sinet. Karen Sinet, skip feed to Vaughn. Blue Jays looking to get on the board. They have just 5 to shoot. Godhart, long 2, airmailed it. Rebound by Devin Vaughn, needs to shoot it, doesn't realize it. That's a shot clock violation. The ball goes back to the Titans on the turnover. The last time these teams met on January 5th, Elmhurst turned the ball over 32 times, leading to 26 Titans points. Baltus, I should say it's Bielik now top of the key, swings it left wing McMahon. Colleen McMahon looking for a cutter, finds Sebring, she's gonna slash down the lane, left-hander good and one. Katie Sebring, who has been scorching, the junior guard out of Towanda, Illinois, the conference player of the week. Over her 2 games last week, averaged 26.5 points and 10.5 rebounds, including a career-high 30 points at Milliken on January 16th as Sebring completes the 3-point play. The Titans have scored the first 7 points of this ball game with 16:35 to go first half. 7-0 Titans leading the Blue Jays. Spencer in the backcourt flips it across to Vaughn. Devin Vaughn to Sinet on the right wing. Sinet, the transfer out of Judson University, and that gets thrown away. Turned over by the Blue Jays. The Titans have it back. Substitution for the Blue Jays. Katie Swanson is going to check in, but first a timeout is called, and the Titans have started this game on a 7-0 run. Titans coming off of an 82-62 win on Wednesday night, beating Augustana College. They had 17 offensive rebounds, leading to 16 second chance points. Sebring led them in the game with 21 points. Sebring averaged just 2.6 points per game last season, but has been called upon as a scorer. Already has 5 of the 7 points this afternoon for the Titans. And Katie Sebring leads the team in 3-point shooting, 44%. And as I said earlier, it's worth mentioning again, 74 points in her last 3 games. So she has been red hot. She had 17 points off the bench when these 2 teams met on January 5th. Out of the timeout, Baltus, as the Titans have the basketball. It goes to the far side, McMahon. Long 3, Gardner missed it off the front rim, hit high off the backboard, and Karen Sinet running with the rebound for the Blue Jays. Looking to get on the board, just about 4 minutes into it, and they have been held scoreless. Katie Swanson now into the game, the 5'5" freshman guard out of Oak Forest, Illinois, and there's another Blue Jays turnover. Running the other way with it is McMahon. Colleen McMahon gives it up to Sebring. Now to Baltus. Finds the cutter, that's Bielik inside, but needs to dish it back out. Gardner tries the 3 straight on, front rimmed it, and Karen Sinet rips down another rebound for the Blue Jays, pushes it up ahead to Swanson. Swanson skip feed to Vaughn, tried to look inside, McMahon was held.
Foul charge to Katie Sebring, her first.
In the early going, already 4 turnovers for Elmhurst, just 1 for the Titans. Elmhurst 0 for 4 from the field thus far, and now looks like another turnover, and down goes the Gatorade cooler on the far side next to the Titans bench. There you see Maya Smith adorned in all pink, the pink top and the pink shoes, supporting Coaches versus Cancer. This Illinois Wesleyan team on January 16th beat North Central 125-89. They set a conference record for points and also a conference record with their 50 field goals made. That jumper came up short from McMahon, and it's Sinet with another rebound. Sinet is trapped in the backcourt and needs to get it ahead. They do break the press. That's Stephanie Mitchell, the senior who has just checked into the game. 5'11" out of Roscommon, Michigan, averaging 4 points per contest. On the right wing, Kieran Sinet. 5 minutes into it, no points yet for the Blue Jays until that three by Katie Swanson. Swanson comes in averaging 2.6 points per game. Hits that three to put the Blue Jays on the board, but there's an answer bucket. Colleen McMahon with the left-hand layup. She has 4 points. And it's now a 9-3 Titans lead. Swanson in the backcourt. Full court pressure, and the Blue Jays working hard just to get past it. Sinet off that tip ball is going to call timeout on the near sideline. You can see the frustration there from Karen Sinet and the Blue Jays. That's exactly what this press from the Titans is doing so far. If you look statistically across the board, the Titans haven't been all that impressive. They allow 68 points per game to their opponents. Compare that to Elmhurst, who allows just 62 points a game. They don't shoot all that well. The Titans shoot just 40% on the season. Their opponents shoot 42%. Basically, if you look across the board, nothing stands out until you get to turnovers. The Titans force their opponents into 25 turnovers per game. So that is really the difference, and that's what's made them successful. A team that, as I mentioned, the D3 national champs last year, and their biggest loss to graduation was Olivia Lett, who led the team in points, rebounds, and assists, averaged 22 points a game last season. Into the game for the first time, Kim Schwertman for the Blue Jays. They have 7 seconds to shoot it. Schwertman is bumped along the far side baseline.
Foul charge to Bioletto.
The foul is on Emily Bioletto.
13 foul.
5'8" sophomore guard out of Bloomington, Illinois, is checked in now for the Titans. Titans a 9-3 lead over the Blue Jays. 14-12 left to go in this first half of action. Schwertman along the far side gets trapped, finds Swanson. Swanson steps behind that screen for McMahon. Schwertman's jumper across the rim, no. And the rebound to Bioletto. Here come the Titans, they're pushing it. Baltis, nice feed ahead underneath the hoop. A hook shot off the glass and in from Whitney Skurlock. The junior forward with an impressive move there to step back and hook it in from the paint. It's an 11-3 Titans lead over the Blue Jays. Swanson trapped in the backcourt. Here comes Schwertman across the timeline. Mitchell on the left wing. She threw it away. Here comes Bioletto. Bioletto is racing one-on-one with Swanson and takes it in to lay it up. Emily Bioletto averages a point and a half per game. She has her first 2 points of the contest. It's a 13-3 lead. Swanson, same spot on that three, but that one off the side of the rim, and the Titans are running it again. Very efficient, fast-paced attack. Gardner gives it up. It goes inside. Post moves again from Whitney Skurlock, but she'll dump it back outside. Here comes Gardner, foul line. Jay got it. Melissa Gardner, her first 2 points of the game, and it's a 12-point lead for the Titans. 15-3, they lead it. 5 points from Katie Sebring, 4 for Colleen McMahon. The only points for Elmhurst coming on a three-pointer from Katie Swanson. It has been a struggle so far in the early going for the Blue Jays. They now have 6 turnovers to just 1 for Illinois Wesleyan. Shooting-wise, Elmhurst 1 of 7 from the field. Meanwhile, the Titans 7 of 13, and that's because they are getting some great looks in the paint. That makes things pretty easy when you're getting those shots in close, and they have done that by driving to the hoop and really just creating points off of turnovers. It's been a very impressive attack so far by Illinois Wesleyan, and really the same thing that made them successful the last time that they played against Elmhurst on January 5th. Again, 32 turnovers they forced from the Blue Jays. Today is the 59th meeting between these two schools in women's basketball. The Titans have a 43-15 lead in the all-time series. And again, the Blue Jays trying to end a string of 15 straight wins in this series by the Titans. The last time that Elmhurst beat Illinois Wesleyan in women's hoops came back in 2006, a 76-72 win in Bloomington. They come out of the timeout. The Blue Jays trailing 15-3. Titans scored the first 7 points of this game, and now they have scored 8 straight points after that first 3 was made by the Blue Jays. The ball knocked out of bounds, and it stays with Elmhurst. In the backcourt, it's Katie Swanson. Swanson gave it up to Claire Monroe into the game for the first time. Monroe, a 5'5" freshman guard out of West Chicago, Illinois, averaging 4.5 points per game for the Blue Jays. She has it on the right wing. Now to Schwartman. Her jumper from 17 feet missed short. Rebound underneath is dug out, and a jump ball is called. It's going to stay with the Blue Jays.
Jump ball, alternate possession, out of bounds to
Melanie Schwartman in for the first time for Elmhurst, a 5'10" sophomore guard slash forward, averaging 3.7 points per game. Kim Schwartman goes to the bench. Stephanie Mitchell back in, so now it's Monroe, Swanson, Melanie Schwartman, Sinnett, and Mitchell. Sinnett looking to inbound it, still looking. She's going to lob it out to Monroe. Claire Monroe outside the circle. Now at the top of the key, left wing to Swanson. Katie Swanson now to Stephanie Mitchell. Swings it to the far side, Sinnett. Skip feed, Monroe fires the 3, came up short. Rebound is tapped around. Sinnett trying to chase it down, good effort, but it's out of bounds and it goes to the Titans. The Blue Jays in their last game on Wednesday against Wheaton in that loss had just 14 points in the paint. They were outscored 36-14 in the paint. And we're kind of seeing a similar pattern so far in tonight's game. There's another bucket in the paint, laid in by Colleen McMahon. She has a game-high 6 points. Full court pressure comes again. In the backcourt, Claire Monroe, and now she'll bring it into the front court, but threw it away there on that pass intended for Schwartman. Running it to the hoop is Skurlock. She's going to throw it to Taylor Reber, left hand off the glass and in. Taylor Reber, the 5'9" junior guard out of Bensonville, Illinois, averaging 3 points, 3 rebounds a game. She gets on the board. It's a 19-3 lead. It's a 12-0 Titans run over the Blue Jays, facing their biggest deficit at 16 points. Swanson left wing lobs it in. Melanie Schwartman is going to the line. The Blue Jays will have their first free throws of the game. The only bucket the Blue Jays have so far in the first half, a 3-pointer by Katie Swanson. Schwartman trying to end a Titans 12-0 run. She does.
Vaughn, McMahon, and Spencer back for the Blue Jays. Gardner in for the Titans.
Schwartman bends the knees, flicks the second one up around the rim, no good. Rebounded though by McMahon, and Fiona McMahon keeps the possession alive for the Blue Jays off that rebound. McMahon at the top, now to Devin Vaughn. Vaughn on the left wing, finds Spencer up top. Spencer looking down low, can't find anybody. Here's Melanie Schwartman, nice feed to Vaughn, lays it up, no. Rebound is going to be ripped away by the Titans, and here they come, they're pushing it again. Titans leading by 15, 19-4. 10:50 left to go in the first half. Now they throw it away, and it's going back to the Blue Jays. don't forget, after this game, we will have the second game of the doubleheader, the men's game, the Titans against the Blue Jays. Elmhurst men looking for their first conference win of the year. They are 0-7. 7-game losing streak for the men. And for Illinois Wesleyan's men, they have a 7-game win streak. That ball is swatted away. Bioletto racing in and lays it in. Emily Bioletto with 4 points. And this has been a very balanced attack. Nobody with more than 6 points. And the Titans a 17-point advantage. Vaughn breaks the press. Schwertman tried to feed it inside. It got poked away and out of bounds. The Titans always keeping fresh legs on the court. Michelle Bielik checking back in for the Titans. That's what has made them successful. Balanced attack and keeping the fresh legs on the floor. As Devin Vaughn looking to inbound, gets it over the head of Schwertman, but picked up by Courtney Spencer. Spencer hands it off to Sinet. Sinet head of the circle. Karen Sinet pushes it to the far side. Spencer around that screen for McMahon, looking for the pick and roll, but did not receive the pass. 8 seconds to shoot. Sinet flips it inside. McMahon was held. That foul on Colleen McMahon. Matched up against Fiona McMahon.
Her
Second foul on McMahon, and that's already 5 fouls on the Titans, just 2 so far from the Blue Jays. Lexi Baltis will come back on the floor for the Titans. Colleen McMahon to the bench. Devin Vaughn will look to inbound. Elmhurst has just 1 made field goal so far, halfway through the first half. Spencer lobs it for Fiona McMahon, and she was held. That will be the 16th foul on the Titans. Elmhurst just 1 of 10 from the field. Illinois Wesleyan's 10 of 16, 63%. Devin Vaughn looking, trying to get that inbound. She does to Spencer. Fresh shot clock now for the Blue Jays. Vaughn has it on the left wing. Devin Vaughn now to McMahon. Fiona McMahon up top. Shuffles it over to the far side. Sinet pulls up, thought about that 3, did not pull the trigger. Schwertman pulls it, and that one rattled out on her. The rebound to Baltis. She's going to make a beautiful feed ahead. Bielik lays it up. That one didn't fall. Melanie Schwertman hangs on to the rebound. Sinet brings it across. Schwertman, nice look for McMahon, but that time they get Fiona McMahon on an offensive foul.
Foul charge to Fiona McMahon, her first.
The turnovers now at 8 for Elmhurst and 2 for Wesleyan. Baltis brings it into the front court for the Titans. They have a 17-point lead, 9:18 left to go in the first half. Ball gets dipped inside. Sebring underneath the hoop, tried to reverse, was blocked, and a foul called, and you can hear the groans here at R.A. Faganell Hall. Many in attendance thought it was a clean block. You can see across the way that the Titans brought a nice contingent over from Bloomington. Sebring pours in the first free throw. She has 6 points. The conference player of the week tries the second, and it fouls the first one in. 7 points for Sebring to lead all scores. It's a 23-4 lead for the Titans over the Blue Jays. And again, full court pressure after every made basket, and that just makes the Blue Jays have to work so hard just to get into their offensive set. And they throw it away again. That'll be the 9th turnover for the Blue Jays. This is a 3-on-2. Baltis to the left wing. Bielik now a fake on the shot. Reber steps inside, missed it. Rebound is picked off by Fiona McMahon. She's being trapped, needs to get rid of it, and does, to Devin Vaughn. Wide open, here's Melanie Schwertman. 2-on-1 to Sinet. Sinet lays it in.
Basket by Sinet. Timeout.
Karen Sinet with her first bucket of the game, and it cuts it to a 23-6 lead for the Titans over the Blue Jays.
And Kim Schwertman.
So the only scorers so far for Elmhurst, Katie Swanson has 3, Karen Sinet with 2, and Mel Schwertman has 1 point. Looking at some of the separation here in stats, rebounds, Elmhurst and Illinois Wesleyan are tied in the rebound category at 9 apiece. The Titans have 4 steals, none for Elmhurst. so far. Elmhurst, the shooting woes continue. 1 of 12, shooting just 8%. Wesleyan, 10 of 17, 59% from the field. And the Titans are also 3 out of 3 from the foul line. The Blue Jays trying to put to an end a 15-game win streak that the Titans have against them, but struggling in the early going against the defending Division III national champion. And again, they could put those points on the board in a hurry. We see them doing it, turning defense into transition offense. The Blue Jays come out of the timeout with McMahon, Monroe, Godhart back into the game, Kim Schwertman, and Sinet. For the Titans, it's Bielik, Baltus, Gardner, Sebring, and Taylor Reber. Reber will inbound it on the near sideline. 8:35 left to go in the first half. This is Baltus with it in the backcourt. She was her high school valedictorian at St. Charles East High School in Illinois. Baltus now to the right wing, Gardner. Gardner feeds it out top, Reber. Post feed to Sebring, cuts across the lane, throws it back out for Reber. Top of the key to Gardner, 8 seconds to shoot it. Gardner driving, missed it short. Right there for the rebound is Sebring, and Katie Sebring has 9 points here in the first half. She's outscoring the Blue Jays all by herself. Whitney Skurlock checking back into the game for the Titans, and Taylor Reber goes to the bench. Monroe in the backcourt. Monroe against this full court pressure. Now she's just moving closer to her own hoop. Now she finds the opening. Monroe into the front court to Kim Schwertman. Schwertman lobs it down low. McMahon had it stolen away by Baltus. Baltus a long feet ahead and hitting Bielik in stride, and Bielik is hammered. That's the first foul on Kim Schwertman, and foul number 4 on the Blue Jays. That is going to send Bielik to the line. She's a 78%er. The senior guard out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, hits the first. First point of the game for Bielik. She averaged 6 points a game last season. This year averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2.7 assists. The second one is up and through, 27-6. The Titans all over the Blue Jays here in the first half. 7:43 left in it. 2-on-1 now for Schwertman, and she had it poked away momentarily. It goes out top. Sinet, open look at the tray, and she knocked it down. Karen Sinet with 5. It's a 27-9 Titans lead over the Blue Jays. Baltus brings it ahead into the front court. Gardner on the right wing. Down low to Sebring. Sebring trapped on the baseline. That jumper from Skurlock missed and rebounded by Claire Monroe. Here come the Blue Jays. No pressure after a missed bucket from the Titans, and that's why that defensive stop is so important, because then they get in that offensive set a lot easier. Schwertman slashing all the way in off the side of the rim on that layup attempt, and a foul is called afterwards.
Personal foul charge to Tess Godhart, her second.
Tess Godhart with her second foul, and that's the 6th team foul on Elmhurst. Katie Swanson back on the floor for the Blue Jays. Kim Schwertman will sit down. Under 7 minutes to play first half. Baltus across the timeline. Sebring right point, looking for a cutter, lobbing it inside. Bielik, and she threw it away. Katie Swanson with the steal. Here come the Blue Jays. Swanson hurries it ahead. Sinet on the left wing, back to Swanson. Back to Karen Sinet. Skip feed out to the corner, that's Godhart. Godhart working her way into the lane, and she traveled. The Titans get the ball back, and they have a substitution. Gardner to the bench. Emily Bioletto back into the game with 4 points. Gardner sits down with 2 points. 6:31 to play first half. Baltus brings it across the timeline. Lexi Baltus scoreless so far this afternoon. on the left wing. That's Bielik. Stops left elbow. They send it back outside around that screen. Baltus, and that's an offensive foul. Illegal screen on the Titans. First foul on Skurlock. That was an offensive foul, so it will not lead to free throws, but that is the 7th foul now on the Titans. Swanson looking to inbound it. Monroe to Sinet. Sinet gonna run into that trap, so she needs to find a way to get rid of it. She does to Monroe. Monroe throwing it across to Tess Godhart. Godhart into the front court. Monroe swings it to Sinet. Around a screen from Monroe, gives it back to her on a pick and pop. Claire Monroe with 8 seconds left to shoot it. Sinet, 5 seconds to shoot. Skip feed out to Monroe. She needs to get rid of it. Fires and comes up short. McMahon missed on the rebound. 24-second, I should say 30-second shot clock violation, and it gives it back to the Titans. That will be the 13th turnover by the Blue Jays, just 3 for the Titans in this first half. That ball poked away momentarily by Godhart, but retrieved by Sebring. 5.5 to play first half, an 18-point Titans lead. They've led it by as many as 19 in this first half. Sebring gonna fire one up, missed it off the front rim. Fiona McMahon scrapes down the rebound. McMahon has 8 double-doubles on the season. She's led the team in rebounding 15 times out of the 18 games this year. McMahon now has it right block, hooks it up and in. Fiona McMahon with her first 2 points of the game. McMahon has grabbed 3 rebounds. Now we have a foul called on the floor, but that is going to bring up a 1-and-1 for the Titans. Skurlock to the bench. Taylor Reber checks back in for the Titans. Colleen McMahon, the junior guard out of Orland Park, Illinois, flips the first one up, and she will have a second. 7 points for McMahon. McMahon 3 of 6 from the field this afternoon, and she strokes the second one up and in. 8 points for McMahon, and it's an 18-point lead, 29-11 for the Titans over the Blue Jays. They break the pressure. Swanson lays it in.
That's good by Swanson.
A confident drive out of the freshman from Oak Forest. Swanson with 5 points. She and Karen Sinet each with 5 points for the Blue Jays in this first half. It's now a 16-point lead for the Titans, trying to add on to it, but Reber traveled. Katie Swanson will inbound it on the sideline for the Blue Jays. Gets it to Karen Sinet, now to Swanson, and she will quickly break that pressure. Swanson hands it off to Monroe, back to Swanson in between the circles. Gonna lob it to Fiona McMahon. She gets double teamed, nicely spins out of it. Here's Karen Sinet around that screen, pops the 3, comes up short, rebound, tapped around. Who's gonna grab it? It's grabbed by Swanson, jump ball, and that is Titans possession arrow. I think some of the Blue Jays fans believe that a foul had been called.
Alternate possession out of bounds to Illinois Wesleyan.
Good battle underneath the hoop, though, by the Blue Jays. Swanson to rip it out of there, just 5'5". The Titans are going to take a timeout. 4:02 remaining here in the first half of action, and it's a 29-13 lead. The Titans over the Blue Jays. The Titans come in tied for second in the conference at 5-2, and they're looking to win their 6th straight conference title. They are tied with Wheaton for second in the conference. Carthage, though, is 7-0 in conference, 2 games better than Wesleyan. So it's going to be a difficult challenge to try to win a 6th straight conference title. Carthage has already beaten Wesleyan this season. 4 minutes to play in the first half. McMahon has it up top. Right wing, it's Taylor Reber. Reber lobs it down low. Sebring wide open for that layup. Katie Sebring leading all scorers now with 11 points. The first player into double figures. That ball almost thrown away, but it's dug out by Sinet in the backcourt. Sinet is in some trouble, gets rid of it to Swanson. Again, there is no 10-second call in women's hoops. In between the circles, Monroe. Right wing, Swanson. 10 seconds to shoot. Sinet gonna fling the three off the front rim, and there is Katie Swanson on the spot for the layup. Swanson leading the Blue Jays with 7 points. The lead for the Titans is trimmed down to 16. Samantha Ellsworth in for the first time for the Titans, a freshman guard, 5'8", out of Havana, Illinois. 1.6 points per game, that three short from Sebring. Sinet wants to bring it across the other way. Some subs getting ready to come in. Sinet traveled, dragged that pivot foot. Melanie Schwertman back in for the Blue Jays. A trio back in there for the Titans. Gardner, Baltus, and Bielik.
Gardner back in for Wesleyan.
Wesleyan's led by as many as 19 in the first half. Started the game scoring the first 7 points. And they led it 19-3 early on. On the right wing, that's Bielik. Thought about the three, now tries to drive past Schwertman, runs into a double team, threw it off the shot clock, out of bounds. Nice help by Fiona McMahon. 2:32 to go, first half. Blue Jays trail by 16. Trying to cut into this deficit. Sinet in the backcourt. She needs to work against that full court pressure. Here's Godhart. They break the pressure. They have a 3-on-3. Godhart to Melanie Schwertman. She finds Sinet. Thought about the three. Now brings it into the paint. Flips it up. Good, but dope. But wave it off. Wave it off. It's a travel on Karen Sinet. Karen Sinet thought she had a bucket, and Tethany Carilla, the coach of Elmhurst, giving a sideways glance at the official. Lexi Baltus will bring it up for the Titans. We have 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this first half. Baltus stops with it on the right wing, feeds it up top, driving inside. Bieletto flips it up too strong, rebounded by Fiona McMahon. Here come the Blue Jays. Down by 16, 2 minutes to play first half. Katie Swanson has had a strong first half. She finds Godhart, missed that jumper from 18 feet. The Titans want to run. Bielik tried to throw it inside. It went off the foot of McMahon, a kick ball. Titans will inbound it, far side on the baseline. Bielik to inbound it. Looking and gets it out to the left wing, Gardner. Gardner driving past Godhart, stops on the left block. It's blocked by Fiona McMahon. She didn't even jump to block that shot. Comes in averaging over 2 blocks a game to lead the team. Sinet in between the circles has it for the Blue Jays. Sinet stops just outside the free throw line. Now it's Fiona McMahon. McMahon slashing all the way in, and she's bumped on the baseline. That brings up a 1-and-1.
That foul charge to Taylor Reber for second. At the free throw line,
Fiona McMahon, who last Saturday against
Fiona
Augustana
McMahon, 2 shots.
set a career high with 21 rebounds. Last season as a freshman, you could see the potential, average 6.6 rebounds a game. Now she's averaging a double-double per contest, 14 points, 10 rebounds. She missed the first. McMahon, a 79%er at the line to lead the team. Also the top shooter at 56% from the field this season. The second one is up. That one rattled out. An empty trip at the line for McMahon, and now the Titans want to push it. Gets thrown inside, stolen by Melanie Schwertman. The Blue Jays try to bring it the other way. Swanson to Schwertman, back to Katie Swanson. Swanson, nice job getting past the trap, lobs it ahead. Melanie Schwertman nearly traveled, and now they call the walk. It took a while, but they got the call right. Stephanie Mitchell will check back in for Wesleyan, for the Blue Jays, I should say. 1 minute to play first half. The Titans have led it by as many as 19. They're up 16, 31-15 over the Blue Jays. This is Taylor Reber, hands it off to Bioletto. Left wing, Baltus, now into the corner, Bielek's three, off the heel, rebound. Godhard had a hand on it but lost it, and now driving inside, Bioletto missed it, Reber is headed to the line. Taylor Reber with 2 points in this first half. The junior guard out of Bensenville, Illinois, 3 points, 3 boards per contest. Reber flicks it up and good. The Titans shoot 73% from the stripe this season. And they are now a perfect 9 of 9 at the line here this afternoon. Reber with 4 points. It's a 33-15 lead for the Titans over the Blue Jays. 38 seconds to play. First half, an 8-second differential, game and shot clock. Sinet in the backcourt. Sinet gets rid of it to Swanson. 30 seconds to play in the half, 20 on the shot clock. Here's Godhard. Godhard stops, wide open Swanson. No, that was a cruel rim here at home for Swanson, who has 7 first half points. Shot clock shut off. 12 seconds left to go in the half. There's a floater, good for Lexton Baltus. First 2 points for Baltus, 5 seconds to go in the half. Inbounded to Sinet. Sinet with 2, with 1, fires it off the mark. That ends the first half of action. The Titans have their biggest lead of the game as they go to the halftime locker room. The Illinois Wesleyan Titans leading the Elmhurst Blue Jays 35-15. We will come back in a little bit with some first half stats and then get you ready for the second half of action here on Blue Jay TV. Welcome back to RA Fagnall Hall as we get set for the second half of action. It's the Illinois Wesleyan Titans leading the Elmhurst Blue Jays 35-15. Matt Friedman back with you on Blue Jay TV. Let's take a quick look at some of the key statistics from the first half. Katie Sebring of the Titans led all scores with 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Colleen McMahon had 8 for the Titans. 7 points for Katie Swanson to lead the Blue Jays. 5 points for Karen Sinnett. Fiona McMahon leading everybody with 6 rebounds during the first half of action. The turnovers were really the big story, and I mentioned that it was the story the first time these two teams played. 16 turnovers by Elmhurst, just 6 for Illinois Wesleyan. Points off turnovers. The Titans 15 points off turnovers, none for the Blue Jays. And points in the paint, also a story for Elmhurst, as we talked about last game when they played against Wheaton and scored just 14 points in the paint. Tonight, they are being outscored 22-8 in the paint. The Blue Jays also struggling from the field, shooting 27%. Titans shooting 43%, and Wesleyan also shooting 9 of 9, 100% from the foul stripe. Right before the teams took the floor for the second half, the Blue Jays got into a team huddle, and junior Devin Vaughn was giving everybody words of encouragement. So let's see how they come out to start this second half of action. They trailed by as many as 21 in the first half. At one point, the Titans went on a 12-0 run, and right out of the box, it's another turnover. The 17th committed by the Blue Jays. Now the Titans will have the basketball. They move from right to left, looking for their 4th straight victory and their 16th consecutive win in this series against the Blue Jays, who have not beaten them since 2006. That's Lexi Baltus. Her 3 crawls across the rim, no good, and the rebound goes to Courtney Spencer. She will bring it up for the Blue Jays, no pressure. Now to the right wing, Spencer hands it off to Kim Schwertman, up top to Melanie Schwertman. Left wing Swanson. Skip feed out to Kim Schwertman. Nice look inside for McMahon, but it was knocked away and stolen. 18th turnover by the Blue Jays. Dancing inside, flipping it up. Gardner came up short. Bielik, though, on the offensive glass. These two teams were knotted up in rebounds, 17 apiece in the first half. Slashing in, McMahon draws the foul, and she's headed to the line for 2.
Foul charge to Kim Schwertman, her second.
That's the second foul on
First
Kim
team
Schwertman.
foul of the second half. McMahon at the free throw line.
McMahon had 8 first half points, 2 of 2 at the stripe, and the first one rattles around and in.
Karen Sinnett into the game for
McMahon last season as a sophomore averaged 6 points and 2 rebounds. This season leads the team with 2.1 steals per game. Also the top field goal shooter at 47%. Hits the second, and she's in double figures with 10 points, joining her teammate Katie Sebring. McMahon averaging 12.5 points per game this season. Katie Swanson has it for the Blue Jays in the backcourt. This is now the largest lead of the ball game for the Titans at 22. They led by as many as 21 in the first half. Sinnett here being trapped, and she has it ripped away by Gardner. Ahead to Baltus. Left block, lays it in with the left hand. Baltus with 4 points, and it's a 24-point lead. So this is getting out of hand early in this second half. The Blue Jays will look to answer. Melanie Schwertman over to Karen Sinnett on the far side. Skip feed to Spencer. Courtney Spencer with 15 on the shot clock. Handoff goes to Swanson. The freshman led the Blue Jays with 7 first half points, but turns it over there on the sideline. That's 19 Blue Jays turnovers, 6 for the Titans. The Blue Jays welcome Whitney Schaefer to the floor, the 5'5" freshman guard out of Tipton, Indiana, in there for the first time. Spencer to the bench. Baltus has it for the Titans. To Gardner, back to Baltus. Right of the lane, that's Sebring. Tries the J, came up off the heel, and Schwertman had that rebound go in and out of her hands. Now a close shot by McMahon came up short. We have a jump ball on the rebound. It stays with the Titans. Nikki Moan will check in for the first time for the Blue Jays. 5'10" sophomore forward from Greenwood, Indiana. 3 points, 3 rebounds per game. The officials having a discussion along the far side. Now they're looking to inbound it. Lobbed out to Baltus. Lexi Baltus to Sebring. That 18-footer rattles the rim, no good. The rebound and the shot made by Colleen McMahon. She now has 12 points. Nice catch and shot from the right block. 18 minutes to go in the ball game. Blue Jays down by 26. Melanie Schwartman, open look at the three. That one came up short. Rebounded by Nikki Moan, right block. Outside to Sinet. She fakes on the three. Backs up at the foul line. Now to Melanie Schwartman. Nice post position there for Fiona McMahon for the left-hand layup. McMahon with 4 points. It's a 41-17 Titans lead. Baltus right wing. She slashes all the way in, scoops it up, and draws a foul.
Third personal foul charge to.
There's the replay. The three was missed by Schwartman. Nice rebound from Moan. And then watch Fiona McMahon as she sets the pick, rolls to the hoop, and has that great post position for the layup. The first free throw was good for Lexi Baltus, who now has 5 points. She leads the team with an 88% foul shooting percentage, but she missed the second, splits the pair. Off the rebound, though, it's Baltus. Right in the lane, knocks down the jumper. Baltus now 5 second-half points, 7 points in the ball game. That was the first foul shot missed tonight by Illinois Wesleyan. They were 12 for 12, now they're 12 for 13. Three in the air, good. Whitney Schaefer knocks it down. Cuts it to a 44-20 lead for the Titans, under 17 minutes to play. Gardner driving, shut off at the baseline, now out to the far side. McMahon pulls up and almost got the roll, but the rebound by Fiona McMahon. The Blue Jays want to push it. Sinet across the timeline, settles in between the rings. Now to the left corner, Nikki Moan. Moan finds Melanie Schwartman up top. Nice lob feed underneath. Fiona McMahon is headed to the line. It seems that when the Blue Jays are either able to break the press or there is no press because of no made basket by the Titans or no out of bounds that gives it back to the Blue Jays, when they're able to actually get into that offensive set, they've gotten some good looks tonight. But they're having a lot of trouble just getting to that point. McMahon hits the first foul shot. 79% are at the line. McMahon's second one follows the first one in. 6 points for McMahon. The Titans doubling up the Blue Jays, 44-22. That three rattles the rim, no good for Bielik, and that rebound by Fiona McMahon. Here's Sinet, and again, no pressure in the backcourt. Sinet goes behind the back. Schaefer, nice lob inside to Melanie Schwartman for the layup. Usually it's Fiona McMahon who is posting up inside, but she lobbed a beautiful feed in there to Melanie Schwartman. Schwartman now at 3 points. And now we have an offensive foul. And the bench really getting into it for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays fans on this side are applauding the effort that they're seeing out of Elmhurst, answering a quick run to start the half, a 6-0 run to start the half by the Titans, and they pulled that lead out to 24 points. Three in the corner, Schaefer got it. Look out. Whitney Schaefer with 6 second-half points, and this is suddenly a 17-point game at 44-27. It is a 7-0 Blue Jay run. Around that screen, Gardner rejected by Melanie Schwartman. Crossover, McMahon scoops it up, missed it. Rebound, Melanie Schwartman, and she's fouled.
That foul charge to Whitney Skurlock.
Foul was on Skurlock.
Team second.
This is a 10-0 Blue Jay run. They were down 44-17. So they were down 27. Now it's a 17-point game.
Correction, that last foul was charged to Gardner, her first.
Blue Jays try to continue this 10-0 run, but Nikki Moan stepped over and into the court. She stepped from out of bounds to in play, and that's a turnover. The Titans inbound it. Baltus has it top of the key. Baltus looking, guarded tightly there by Schaefer. Hands off, the jumper by Reber missed. Melanie Schwartman plucks down the rebound. Here's Nikki Moan having trouble with it in the backcourt, and she's fouled. You can feel the energy picking up from the Blue Jays on the floor, on the bench, and in the stands.
Third team foul.
It's impressive how they've continued to battle even after they fell behind by 27. Now they're getting some confidence and knocking down some shots. There's Schaefer again. That one came up short, but the offensive board by Fiona McMahon. Now here's Karen Sinnett, right wing, as they try to add on to a 10-0 run, the Blue Jays do, and that's out of bounds. 14:47 left to go. Across the way in the stands there, you can see the men's team. They're wearing some pink warm-up shirts, t-shirts over their jerseys. The Blue Jays men's team coming up next against Illinois Wesleyan, and that's all part of Coaches versus Cancer this weekend for NCAA basketball. In the corner, this is Nikki Moan. Moan looking inside, plenty of time, 20 seconds to shoot it. Now in between the circles, Sinnett around that screen. Sinnett looking inside for McMahon. It was poked away, foul called, and the foul is on the Titans. That will be the fourth foul on Wesleyan. Skurlock coming in for the Titans. The Blue Jays on a 10-0 run and trying to continue that. It's a 10-0 run over the last 3 minutes. Nice feed inside. Schwartman lost it out of bounds. She retrieved it, but then could not hang on to it. So the Blue Jays are getting ample opportunities to continue to cut into this lead, but they've turned it over on 2 straight possessions. Baltus up top to Skurlock. It gets swung around to the left wing. Colleen McMahon driving baseline, and she's bumped. Elmhurst picking it up shooting-wise, and Wesleyan falling off. Wesleyan shot 43% in the first half. Elmhurst just 27%. Now Wesleyan at 37. Elmhurst at 36% from the field. The turnovers still harming the Blue Jays, 22 of them. 7 turnovers by the Titans. This is Colleen McMahon. She's going to dump it inside. Skurlock's jumper off the rim and rebounded by Fiona McMahon. Here come the Blue Jays. Sinnett against some light pressure, but it backs off. 14 minutes to go. Blue Jays trying to cut into a 17-point deficit. Nikki Moan has it right wing. Schwartman, nice lob down low, and Fiona McMahon headed to the line. This Blue Jays offense is coming alive with that pick and roll to Fiona McMahon, and with her getting nice post position. She is this team's leader. She leads them in points, rebounds, blocks.
Timeout taken by Illinois Wesleyan.
And she is key to making that offense go, and right now they're making sure that she's getting touches every possession. They're working it to her off the pick and roll. She also, during this run, had a lob assist inside to Melanie Schwartman. So it is still a 10-0 run. The Blue Jays were down 44-17, and now it's 44-27. They're in a timeout right now, and they need to figure out what it's going to take to continue to cut into this lead from Illinois Wesleyan and really put the pressure on the Titans, a team trying to contend for their 6th straight conference title. They come in at 12-6, 5-2 in conference. This Blue Jays team 9-9, 3-4 in the CCIW. And don't forget, coming up next, we will have the men's game as the capper for this doubleheader. The Blue Jays men's team taking on the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. So the Blue Jays will be shooting free throws. 2 foul shots upcoming for Fiona McMahon. The Titans out of the timeout have Violetto, Reber, Skurlock, Sebring, and Baltus on the floor. It's Melanie Schwartman, Schaefer, McMahon, Moan, and Sinnett for the Blue Jays. McMahon at the line, she will shoot 2. She has 6 points for them in the second half. The first one good. McMahon 3 of 5 at the line this afternoon. McMahon has 10 rebounds, and that second foul shot good. So she's 2 points away from her 9th double-double of the season. This is a 12-0 Elmhurst run as they have trimmed this deficit down from 27 to 15. Top of the key, now it goes inside, and Reber walked. The Blue Jays a chance to cut this thing down to 13, maybe 12 on this possession.
Back in for Illinois Wesleyan.
Melissa Gardner checks back in for Reber. However, this time full court pressure, and let's see how the Blue Jays respond. This is where they have really struggled in this ball game with 22 turnovers already. Schaefer is in the backcourt. Now to Nikki Moan. Moan brings it forward, back to Schaefer, back to Moan, and now to Sinnett. Only 15 seconds left to shoot as they bring it into the front court, trying to add on to a 12-0 run. Melanie Schwartman lobs it into McMahon, lays it in. It's a 13-point game. It's a 14-0 Blue Jays run. 13-10 to go. Skurlock inside. Baltus 3, got it, and that ends the run. So the run ends at 14-0 for the Blue Jays as their deficit is back to 16. Sinnett has it in the backcourt. Sinnett had it stripped away. Here's Baltus. Baltus stops on the right block, flips it up, no good. And on the rebound, we have a loose ball foul that's going against Melanie Schwartman of the Blue Jays.
That foul charge to Melanie Schwartman. Her first.
The Blue Jays made a 14-0 run. They cut it down to 13. Now that has ended. And they're down by 16 points. Pulling up, Gardner missed that shot, and Fiona McMahon with her 11th rebound. Gives to Sinnett. Here comes the pressure in the backcourt. Sinnett to Nikki Moan. Moan at center court. Now Schaefer, 18 seconds to shoot. Fiona McMahon back out to Schaefer, fakes on the 3, bounces it down low. McMahon turnaround hook, didn't get the roll. Rebounded by Katie Sebring. Here come the Titans, 12:05 to go. Baltus hands off to Skurlock, elbow J, popped out. Rebound is slapped out of bounds by Gardner. It goes back to the Blue Jays.
McMahon back in for the Titans.
Colleen McMahon back for Wesleyan. Melissa Gardner to the bench. That full court pressure is on again. Elmhurst now 24 turnovers to 8 for Wesleyan. Elmhurst the edge by 3 on the boards, 27-24. Moan inbounds it to Schaefer. They look to break this full court pressure once again. And they do. Melanie Schwartman being chased from behind, drives all the way in, layup. It's a 16-3 run. And back to a 14-point deficit. That one missed. Karen Sinnett gets in there and rips that rebound away. Impressive rebound by the 5'6" junior, the transfer from Judson University. Now Melanie Schwartman thought about the shot. Sinnett, wide open 3 to cut it to 11. off the heel. Rebound is pulled down by McMahon. Here come the Titans. McMahon racing to the other end, lays it in.
Basket by McMahon.
Colleen McMahon with 14 points. Moan across the timeline. McMahon had it poked away. And here come the Titans up by 16. 11 minutes to play in the ball game. On the right wing, it's Sebring. Sebring looking, holding it against Melanie Schwertman as the Titans slow it down. This is probably the first time it seems the shot clock has been within 10 for them on a possession. Now it's down to 6. Pull-up jumper rattled out on Bioletto, and the rebound scraped down by Schaefer. Here come the Blue Jays, trying to cut it to 14, maybe 13 on this trip. Tiffany Carrillo calls a Blue Jays timeout. Elmhurst is on a 16-5 run after they had trailed by 27. It was a 9-2 run to start the second half by the Titans, but what a fight the Blue Jays are putting on here to make the Titans continue to focus and try to grind out this victory. Wesleyan is coming in on a 3-game win streak. Again, they are the defending Division III national champions. And this is a Blue Jays team that's had a lot of frustration against Wesleyan. They have lost 15 straight contests against Illinois Wesleyan. So nobody who currently plays for the Blue Jays has ever been a part of a victory against the Titans, and that's certainly something they're looking for right now. And what it takes is just chipping away. At one point, it was a 14-0 run for the Blue Jays. Looking at some of the individual leaders, Fiona McMahon now has her 9th double-double of the season with 10 points and 11 rebounds. 7 points for Katie Swanson, but she's scoreless in the second half. Nikki Schaefer has 6 points, all of them coming in the second half. Mel Schwertman leading with 3 assists. Colleen McMahon has 14 for the Titans to lead all scores. Katie Sebring with 11, Lexi Baltus with 10, as the Titans have 3 in double figures. They come out of the timeout. It's a 16-5 Blue Jays run. They are down by 16 points, 10:33 to go. Inbound goes to Sinnett. Karen Sinnett holding onto it on the right wing. Sinnett around a screen. Stephanie Mitchell, who's just checked into the game, the senior forward. Now to Katie Swanson, who's back. Left wing Schaefer. 10 seconds to shoot it. Karen Sinnett finds Schaefer up top, tries to rain that 3 and does. Whitney Schaefer, 9 second half points on 3 3-pointers. This is a 19-5 run where Katie Sebring will lay it in, her first points of the second half. She now has 13. How about Whitney Schaefer continuing to get open? It's now a 15-point game. Stephanie Mitchell, skip feed to Sinnett. Here's Schaefer. This is a 12-point basketball game. Timeout, Titans. How about Nikki Schaefer? I should say Whitney Schaefer now with 12 points. And she is 4 for 4 from downtown. The freshman guard out of Tipton, Indiana, came in averaging 4.2 points per game, shooting 35% from downtown, and she is putting on a 3-point display here in the second half of action, and it's down to a 12-point game, 51-39. So now this is a 22-10 run by the Blue Jays, who trailed by as many as 27 points. And Schaefer just continues to get open. That's the impressive thing about it. She's running to the open spot and getting the look, knocking down the threes. The Titans come on the floor, only leading by 12 now, 9:40 to go in the ball game. the Titans were probably hoping to have some of their younger players getting experience on the floor right now, but instead it's Baltus, Sebring, McMahon, Bielik, and Skurlock. The Titans looking for an answer to the Blue Jays here in the second half. Lexi Baltus around that screen, slashing in. Now to McMahon. It's Skurlock. She throws it across the lane, and going up with that shot was Michelle Bielik. She's headed to the line.
That personal foul charged to Whitney Schaefer.
Whitney Schaefer is called for the foul, and Bielik heads to the line where she's 2 of 2 this afternoon. 78% on the year. Flips the first one in. The Titans now at the line, 13 of 14 this afternoon. Second one is good. Bielik with 4 points, and it's now a 14-point lead at 53-39. Blue Jays trying to cut into that 14-point deficit. Sinet in the backcourt against the full court pressure. Swanson lobs it across. Karen Sinet on the left wing, brings it to the foul line. Inside to Mitchell. She turns to the other block and lays it in. Beautiful post move by Stephanie Mitchell. Her first 2 points of the game. And it's back to a 12-point game. Slashing in, Colleen McMahon with a lefty scoop. 16 points, and McMahon leads all scorers. That inbounds, knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Blue Jays. 8:48 to go in the game. The Blue Jays have trailed by as many as 27. They had it down to a 12-point game. Now they trail by 14. Sinet in the backcourt, and again, the Blue Jays will have to navigate this full court pressure. Kim Schwartman brings it into the front court rather easily compared to how the Titans have really put that press on throughout the afternoon. 15 seconds to shoot it. Katie Swanson on the right wing. Nice ball movement to Schwartman, back to Swanson. Tried to look for Mitchell, got knocked away. Schwartman, 7 to shoot. Sinet tries to fling the 3, was blocked. 3 seconds to shoot. There's Schaefer, her first miss of the afternoon. She was 4 for 4, all from downtown. Maybe she needed to step back, but she was forced to shoot it quickly with time expiring on the shot clock. Just over 8 minutes left to play. Sebring brings it to the right block, and bodies fly to the floor. A foul is called on Kim Schwartman.
Foul charge to Kim Schwartman, her third.
3 fouls now on Kim Schwartman.
Foul at the free throw
that
line
is 6 on the Blue Jays.
2 shots.
5 fouls right now on the Titans. So Sebring heads to the line, the 75%er, 3 of 3 today. She missed the first.
Melanie Schwartman and Fiona McMahon.
Melanie Schwartman, Fiona McMahon back on the floor for the Blue Jays. Kim Schwartman and Stephanie Mitchell to the bench. Second foul shot, and Sebring missed them both. Blue Jays still down by 14, 8 minutes to play. Swanson spins her way into the front court. The freshman backs it out to Sinet. Sinet on the left wing, trying to lob it for McMahon, nobody home, and Baltus with the steal. Baltus, quick feet ahead to Sebring, driving in, and that is a foul on Melanie Schwartman. 26 turnovers now by Elmhurst. Last time these teams met, 32 Elmhurst turnovers led to 26 points for the Titans.
Free throw line is Katie Sebring. 2 shots in for Illinois Wesleyan.
7:44 to play in the game.
Gardner.
Blue Jays had cut it to 12. Now it's a 14-point lead for the Titans. Sebring just missed 2 at the line and missed the front end of the 1-and-1. 3 straight misses at the line for the 75%er. The Blue Jays a chance to cut it to 12, maybe 11 on this trip. There's Whitney Schaefer, right wing. Schaefer looking for help. Nice feed to Melanie Schwartman. Didn't get the roll there. Threw it up a little too strong. Now Baltus had to go off her foot, and that's going to be Blue Jays ball. You see that bench jumping up and approving of the effort. A lot of excitement from that Blue Jays bench and the fans here to see the way that the Blue Jays have battled their way back into this game. If you're just joining us, the Blue Jays were down 44-17 early in this second half, down by 27. They went on a 14-0 run, and now they had cut it to a 12-point game, currently trailing by 14. But they have all the momentum right now as Sinnett pulls up and knocks down that jumper. Karen Sinnett with 7 points. It's back to a 12-point game. Just over 7 minutes to play in it. So during that span, it was 44-17, and it's now a 26-11 run by the Blue Jays. That lob feed goes outside to Reber. Now picked up by McMahon. 8 seconds to shoot it. Reber from the elbow. 7 seconds to shoot. Blocked by Melanie Schwertman. Here comes Fiona McMahon. A chance on this possession for the Blue Jays to cut it down to inside 10. There's 6.5 minutes left to play. Schaefer on the left wing. Fiona McMahon now to Swanson. Swanson, skip feed to Sinnett. Thought about the three, didn't shoot it. Back to Swanson. Swanson slashing right alley. Back out to Schaefer, tries it again, and too strong this time. And a chance at an offensive rebound, but it goes to the Titans, and they have 3-on-1 if they hurry here. McMahon, though, ran into the Blue Jays. That's an offensive foul, or it should be. It is an offensive foul. It's just a 12-point basketball game right now, and it's timeout called by the Titans. 55-43.
Timeout taken by the Blue Jays.
And currently, just a 12-point game again. The Blue Jays will try to get it within 12, something that they have not done in this second half. They haven't done it in a while. Just to give you an idea of the way that this game has gone, the last time that the Blue Jays were within 10 points was when this was a 13-3 lead for Wesleyan. So it's been a very long time. Wesleyan started this game on a 7-0 run. Then they were up 19-3. They were up by 20 at half, 35-15. And then it was that 44-17 lead that we keep coming back to. At that point, it looked like game over. And bring the men out there and start the next game. Well, the Blue Jays had other ideas. And again, you put it together, it's a 26-11 run that the Blue Jays have gone on just to cut it to 12. It's taken all that work to cut it to 12. Now they will have to find a way to continue to trim that deficit down. And they still have time to do it. 6:08 left to go in the ball game. Fiona McMahon now 10 points, 12 rebounds. Whitney Schaefer, though, leading the Blue Jays with 12 points on 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. She made her first 4 3-pointers. And Illinois Wesleyan now has 9 turnovers. At halftime, they had 6. Sinnett in the backcourt. 6:05 left to go. The Blue Jays throw it away, though. And that pass tipped away by Sinnett. It stays with the Titans. That's 27 Blue Jays turnovers. 6 minutes left as Melissa Gardner will inbound it for the Titans. Gardner is looking, still looking, and she gets it out. Goes out top to McMahon, now Sebring. Under 6 minutes to play. Titans trying to add on to a 12-point lead. Gardner's three, a dagger. 5 points for Melissa Gardner. She just had no conscience on that shot, just hoisted it, and that was a big hit to make it a 15-point game. The Blue Jays had all the momentum, and that was certainly a bit of a momentum killer. Blue Jays now have it in the backcourt. Schaefer crosses the timeline. Elmhurst down 15, and the clock is against them now with 5:20 to go, but a good look inside to Schwertman, 1 dribble and a layup. Melanie Schwertman with 5 points. And the lead is trimmed down to 13 now for the Titans. Sebring up top. The Blue Jays bench chanting defense, looking for their teammates to get a stop and get the ball back, but that's Gardner slashing, receiving the pass, and banking it in. Melissa Gardner with 5 quick and important points for the Titans. Their lead is back to 15 at 60-45. They break the full court pressure. Swanson lob underneath, wide open. McMahon missed it, got it back and lays it in. Fiona McMahon now with 12 points, 12 rebounds, and there's a foul on Melanie Schwertman.
Third personal foul charged to Melanie Schwertman.
That is Schwertman's 3rd foul.
At the free throw
And
line
that's 8 on the Blue Jays.
Wesleyan is Melissa Gardner. 2 shots.
It was a shooting foul, so 2 shots upcoming for Gardner. A 71%er, rattles the rim and falls in.
Violetto checks in.
Gardner was second team all CCIW last season. Coming into the game, 58% of her shots were 3-pointers. Second one rattles around and falls in, just like the first one did. 9 points for Gardner, and the task just got a little tougher again. It's a 15-point deficit, 4:25 to go, and the Blue Jays throw it away. Stolen by Violetto to Gardner, right wing. This is a big shot from Baltus, missed it off the heel, but the rebound collected by Sebring. The Titans may try to milk the clock a little bit on this possession, trying to survive this test that the Blue Jays have given them during the second half. Gardner, another 3, that one came up short. On the rebound, here's Swanson, she's running with it in traffic and now needs to pull up on the left wing. Had it go off her foot into the backcourt, and will it be over and back? No, it will not. It's gonna go to Sinet. 15 seconds left to shoot it. They said that the ball was deflected by the Titans, so no over and back. Sinet with 10 seconds to shoot. Sinet out to Melanie Schwertman, and they call her for a travel. She switched her pivot foot. 3:36 to go. It was a heck of a run by the Blue Jays, but right now with the clock being their nemesis, tough to make up 15 points in just 3.5 minutes. Now we have a foul called. That's going to bring up a 1-and-1 for the Titans. Melissa Gardner will go back to the stripe. 7 points here in the second half, and they've all come within the last few minutes of action to help the Titans try to pull away here. Gardner hits the first. Gardner into double figures now with 10 points. 29 turnovers by Elmhurst this afternoon. Second one is up and through. 11 for Gardner. And it's now a 64-47 Titans lead. And in the backcourt, ball knocked away. It stays with the Blue Jays. 3.5 minutes to play. It's a 64-47 Titans lead over the Blue Jays. Moan looking inbound. Nikki Moan will get it into Swanson. Back to Moan. Full court pressure by the Titans that has really hurt the Blue Jays all afternoon. Moan now going to break the pressure. Moan stopping at the foul line. And she'll throw it back outside to Sinet. Sinet to Melanie Schwertman. Left point. Now to the left wing, Swanson. 10 seconds to shoot. Sinet on the right wing. 5 seconds to shoot. Sinet looking, finds Melanie Schwertman. Her jumper was partially blocked. Titans grab the rebound, and it's a shot clock violation. That's turnover number 30 for Elmhurst. Titans up by 17, under 3 minutes to play. Don't forget, coming up next, we will have the men's game. Blue Jays against the Titans. Slashing in, Baltus is hammered. That was Gardner, actually, who's headed back to the line.
Fourth personal foul charge to
The Titans have led by as many as 27. Again, if you're just joining us, though, the Blue Jays gave them a scare during this second half. They cut the lead down to 12. At one point, we're on a 14-0 run. But the Titans have been able to weather the storm as Gardner hits the first free throw.
And Spurlock back in.
Gardner's free throw off the front rim. The Blue Jays with 2:40 left in the game. Now trailing by 18, 65-47. Moan in the backcourt. And a timeout called by the Blue Jays. Fiona McMahon, 12 points, 13 rebounds. That is her 9th double-double of the season for McMahon. And once again, she's going to lead the team in rebounding. Now in 16 of their 19 games, she has been the leading rebounder for the Blue Jays. 12 points for Whitney Schaefer. Very impressive second half, 4 of 5 from downtown. A real spark off the bench during the big run that the Blue Jays went on to cut that lead down to 12. Karen Sinnett and Mel Schwartman each have 7 points in the ball game. For Illinois Wesleyan, the leading scorer in the game is Colleen McMahon, and there are in total 4 Titans in double figures. Elmhurst has taken the rebounding edge, 37-30 over Illinois Wesleyan. But again, they will look back at those turnovers. 29 of them for Elmhurst and 10 for Wesleyan. Now 29 turnovers for the Blue Jays, 14 steals for Wesleyan. So that means 15 of those are basically just unforced errors. The Blue Jays come to the floor with Moan McMahon, Swanson, Sinnett, and Mel Schwartman. Blue Jays look to inbound. Fiona McMahon gives it to Swanson. 2.5 minutes to go as Swanson gets stopped, but now gives it up to Moan. Out to Melanie Schwartman, back to Swanson up top. 8 seconds to shoot. Nikki Moan, an open look at the tray off the heel. Rebound is pulled away by Reber, and here come the Titans. Into the game for the first time, Morgan Ransom, the 5'7" sophomore guard out of Lansing, Illinois for the Titans, averages 1.5 points per game. Baltis up top, tries to lob it down low, and it's out of bounds. Back to the Blue Jays with 2:01 to play. Whitney Schaefer comes back for the Blue Jays. The Titans will bring Samantha Ellsworth in. Lexi Baltis to the bench with 7 points. Sinnett has it in the backcourt under 2 minutes to play. Blue Jays down by 18. They cut it down to 12, could not get any closer in this second half, but it was quite a run that they went on. That ball is thrown away by Ellsworth, and it goes back to the Blue Jays. Paige Picciotti checking in for the first time for Elmhurst, 5'7" sophomore guard out of Scottsdale, Arizona, averaging 1 point per game. Haley Rowe comes in, the 5'10" junior guard forward out of Colorado Springs.
Schmidt also into the game for the Titans.
And the Titans will bring Emma Schmidt onto the floor, the 5'10" sophomore forward. In the backcourt, it's Nikki Moan. And again, the Titans ruthless with that press. They keep it on even with the big lead at 18 now. Schaefer pulls up, almost walked. Melanie Schwartman back to Schaefer. Paige Picciotti seeing her first action of the afternoon. Moan inside to Mel Schwartman, left-hand layup. Melanie Schwartman has 7 points. The lead now down to 16 for the Titans. 1:13 to go in the game. Up top, this is Schmidt. Schmidt hands it off to Bioletto. Into the corner, Ransom. She wants to drive. Looked like she walked. Got it ripped away by Nikki Moan anyway. 1 minute to play in the game. Blue Jays had cut it down to 12. They've trailed by as many as 27, and right now it's a 16-point deficit. 50 seconds to go. Mel Schwertman down deep, now out to Moan. She'll pull up, that lefty hook, missed, rebound, pulled down by the Titans, Whitney Skurlock. 38 seconds to play, and we will have a timeout called. Actually, that's a travel on the Titans, and some more substitutions. Nikki Schaefer is in for the Blue Jays, and they also will bring Nicole Grinovich in for the first time, 5'11" freshman forward, averaging 1 point per game. Nikki Schaefer, 5'10" junior. 27 seconds to go, and that shot knocked down by Samantha Ellsworth. 18-point Titans lead. Schaefer in between the circles. Now to Whitney Schaefer. Back to Nikki Schaefer. She's going to drive left to the lane and draw the foul with 12.2 seconds to go. Nikki Schaefer at the stripe. First one up and good. Nikki Schaefer out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Skurlock goes to the bench. Elena Duvet in for the first time for Wesleyan, as Schaefer will hit them both. Unorthodox style, throwing it over her head, but it worked. 16-point game with 7 seconds to go. 5 seconds left in the game. Pichotti poked it away. Now Nikki Schaefer steals it, and she'll fire it at the buzzer. A valiant effort by the Blue Jays in the second half. They trimmed a 27-point lead down to 12, but ultimately the Titans win their 16th consecutive game against the Blue Jays, who have not beaten them since 2006. The Titans with their 4th consecutive victory. They improved to 13-6 and now 6-2 in the CCIW. The Blue Jays lose their second straight contest. They drop to 9-10. They are 3-5 in CCIW play. We'll take a look at some of the final numbers this afternoon. Fiona McMahon tied with Whitney Schaefer as the leading scorers for Elmhurst. They had 12 points apiece. McMahon had 13 rebounds. Fiona McMahon now with her 9th double-double of the season. Whitney Schaefer with the 12 points on 4 of 5 3-point shooting. Really helped keep the Blue Jays in the game. Melanie Schwertman had a nice game off the bench. 9 points to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists for Melanie Schwertman. Also for the Blue Jays, Katie Swanson, the freshman, had 7 points. Karen Sinnett with 7, 2 points apiece for Stephanie Mitchell and Nikki Schaefer. For the Blue Jays, they shot 40% from the field. They actually outshot Wesleyan in this game. They were down 16 percentage points shooting-wise at halftime, but really outshot them in the second half. Elmhurst shot 33% from beyond the arc, 70% at the foul line, going 7 of 10. Now as we look at some of the stats for Illinois Wesleyan, they were led by Colleen McMahon. She had 16 points to go along with 4 rebounds, led all scorers. Katie Sebring, 13 points, 5 boards, 12 points for Melissa Gardner, 10 for Lexi Baltus to lead Illinois Wesleyan to the victory here this evening. They shot 38% from the field, just 2 of 12, 17% from downtown. They shot 79% from the free throw line. 30 turnovers by Elmhurst to 13 for the Titans in the ball game this afternoon. And again, the final score, the Titans 67 and the Blue Jays 51. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will bring you the men's game between the Titans and the Blue Jays here on Blue Jay TV.